Well, as always, this is 40 days and nights. I think it's
It's
episode.
only been the 11th day or whatever. Wow. It's still March.
Yeah, and we're happy to be here.
We're back once again. We have once again returned, much like Derrick Rose to the Chicago Bulls. We are back again. And as always, we'll keep it to a tight five. So, um, obviously, you're executive producer, Sarah.
And this is co-host Kevin Kolish. Happy to have you all with us today.
Happy to be here, Sarah. Banter. Should we talk about what we're doing today?
Yeah, so we're gonna see how well we know the other. And we're going to show our thoughts in a PowerPoint format about what we think the other person, what their Hogwarts house would be, and what element they would bend if they were in Avatar.
A classic. I can't wait to get got for Hogwarts houses by people who don't. All I know, it's our friend Sam. She got by some of her students for
Did she?
knowing her Hogwarts house. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
that's
like very low key. Some of her students were making fun of her, but the rest of them were like super into it. So it's a
I
mixed bag.
mean, I want to walk away from this just feeling like really known, like I like that's what I'm gunning for.
That's
So
good.
we're gonna see how well my good pal Kevin
So
and
basically, a lot on the line here.
along the line.
Great.
If you know one or both of us and you disagree with our choices, feel free to put it in the comments.
Yeah, call to action right here.
We'd love to see it. We'd
We are
love.
real content creators.
Okay, hold on.
Guys, I'm not looking right now. And today I'm going to be, as I often do, I endorse somebody. And today I'll be endorsing, um, hmm, this is a tough one. Let's do Shania Twain. Guys,
Okay.
Shania Twain, check out her music.
I think we're good. Can you see
A
the
study
stuff?
of. Great. Good start.
Perfect. So this is Kevin. So the first thing we're doing is what Hogwarts house? What Hogwarts house is Kevin?
What was it going to be? We don't know.
So I did a bad thing and I picked two. I picked
You
two.
punk.
I did a little Ravenclaw. So some explanation here. One, why Kevin's Ravenclaw? Um, well, Kevin is a smart boy. That's what's important. There was one time in high school I was walking with Kevin and our other friend John Skovic down the hallway, and it was the day of the ACT. And I heard a teacher remark that a potential 36 just walked by. And John and I looked at each other and we said, it's certainly not us. So that is a true story that I don't think Kevin knew about, but I do
I
remember it.
I feel like this is the first time I've heard this story.
Yeah,
Maybe
this
it
is
feels like the kind of thing that's like familiar that we've joked about this before, but also I feel like, oh god, this is going to be a rough episode because it's just us kind of complimenting each other, which I think we're both notoriously good at. Oh boy.
oh boy. Some other evidence. He got a bunch of tassels from college. He got like a bunch of those different things.
That's two tassels.
Well, you also in some of the other pictures have like another gold sash thing.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
He is also a stamp scholar, as seen in that picture to the right, which is also a big deal. I don't totally know what it means, but
No
I.
one really does.
Kevin loves to wear blue. He's wearing blue in kind of a majority of those photos, and blue is a Ravenclaw color.
Mhm.
he has a lot of thoughts on cinema, and I assume like Ravenclaw people just like delve deep into that. And he has just really good punctuation a lot of the time. I think he cares a lot about that.
I
So
think I get I get added a lot for punctuation in texts because
mhm.
I feel like I use it and I feel like I shouldn't, but I it feels weird not to. But then people don't, and then I feel like they think I'm being terse with periods, but then it's just not. I think a lot about using punctuation, but then I feel like if I stopped using it, everyone would like be like, "Stop using punctuation." So I've kind of made my bed.
Yeah, this is exactly why this is all evidence. Now, but on the other side, he's also a sweet boy. So some things. One, Kevin loves bubble tea,
Love tea.
which is a very Hufflepuff thing. People love to hug him. There was a lot of just pictures on his Facebook of people hugging him. Did he really want to be hugged in all of them? No, but he let it happen. Um, Kevin does smile when he runs. He's a very photogenic runner, which I think is just like another Hufflepuff thing. He also loves to wear yellow, so blue and yellow are his college colors. So we get to double up on that. And he likes to just like kind of like wave at the camera if he doesn't know what to do with his hands. So just kind of like does like a little thing like that. And I all of these things I think are Hufflepuffs. So in short, a Raven Puff.
When you were looking through photos, was there just a lot of me waving?
There's like just like a few, or you're like you're yeah. There's like just like some like that. It's
I feel
or
like there's a lot of us, like when we're hanging out, there's a lot of peace signs. That's like the big one
yeah,
because we want to show that we're cool,
yeah,
mostly. That we're just radical. We're radical folks.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's my Hogwarts house thoughts.
Yeah, I feel it.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead.
So we're moving on to Avatar Element. So I picked Water Tribe. So for a few different things, he runs a lot, so he is well hydrated. Kevin typically plays a healer in most things, which is a very Water Tribe ability. He was a lifeguard and probably saved a lot of people.
Never. Not once.
The water is an element of change, and Kevin can't really choose anything. So he's just he likes to go back and forth. And this one's just kind of subjective. I think he is like very like loose. He's like a loose limb kind of dude. Um, he seems just very fluid. And I think that's also kind of a wardrobe thing. So some of our pictures, we have Kevin nearby water. Um, that is the theme of these pictures. Snow is frozen water. He's holding a slushy, which is not water, but it's got water in it. And then I didn't really know what to do with that last day of undergrad one, but I just thought it was a really good screenshot and I wanted to put it somewhere.
Oh, I was like, what is that from? But that's I think that's last week of undergrad. Is that from one of my friend's YouTube videos?
It was just on your Facebook and I screenshotted it.
Wow, weird that I'm the weird in general because I don't know necessarily what that's from. So that's fun. That's a good time.
I'll link it in the
That's
video.
okay. I feel like it might be one of those things where one of my friends do like those like a second every day videos. But
Mm-hmm.
last week of undergrad. That photo is almost definitely not from the last week of undergrad. Oh no, wait, no, I know where that is. Never mind. That would be okay, never mind. It could be. Hmm.
Hmm.
I did recently, well, recently as in like months ago now, but time, Um, the I went to the I twisted my ankle. I went to the doctor, and they were like, yeah, some people's joints are just like they just have a lot more movement in them, so they can kind of injure that way. So you're probably not too far off there. Definitely, no one should watch me dance though ever. Not a fan.
So there you go. There's Kevin. He's coming for everybody.
Yeah, I feel like normally when I say, what should we say, what we would normally say for our things?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's the structure here. Is that our structure? Type fine.
Yeah.
Um, I would normally say Ravenclaw. I feel is the house that I normally choose as like
Mhm.
my like a normal one. I feel like in the past, if I've like doubled down, I would say Gryffindor, but I feel like also that's kind of like the like, oh, everyone kind of wants to be Gryffindor because like some of the heroes are from the house. And I think everyone wants to think that they're like, oh, I'm really courageous. But it's like Hufflepuff is like pretty, like just ostensibly good. Like it's just a good place to be.
Mhm.
Um, and then yeah, I always I always feel like Water Tribe is like definitely like my favorite. I don't know necessarily like what actually and like the like what I would fit in with the best, I guess. But
Yes,
I feel like that's like my favorite. Firebending is also my other favorite because I just think it's cool. But
that's true. And
water is always like my top choice, I feel. So I feel like you really nailed it.
thank
You
you.
really came out the gates swinging here.
Thank you.
So it's it can only go it can really go whatever way from here. Anyways, let's uh let's get into it. I am once again coming to you live to talk about Hogwarts houses and Avatar bending. This is I feel pretty accurate, a 99% accurate, I would say.
That's good.
1% because I'm not 100%, I would say, but I feel like we've talked about this. I feel like we've talked about both of these questions before, so I feel like I'm part remembering it and part like attributing it. So here we go. I went. Oh no, that didn't. That. There we go. So I went with Hufflepuff
Mhm.
to really stick on the Hufflepuff train here. And I think but why? Like why choose Hufflepuff for Sarah? And I think one, this is just a nice picture of someone's imagining of the Hufflepuff common room. And I feel this is just like a good vibe for Sarah. I feel like you'd like hanging out here. So, big round door, very hobbity, which is an interesting little take here. So this really could just be a hobbit home that someone was like, oh, the Hufflepuff common room. But I think also there wasn't there one of their like head teachers, the herbology teacher.
Mhm.
Yeah, that feels like it fits too. I feel. Um, I think also we get this Helga Hufflepuff kind of thing, one of the four founders, as we know. She seems pretty rad in general, but she accepted them all without preference, and they're described as loyal and hardworking, which I think are certainly things that you could describe Sarah, especially as a teacher too. The teaching the lot, I feel like she has like a lot more emphasis on like teaching, and the rest of the house leaders were just kind of being like punks and rivals. And she
Mhm.
was just like, "Well, I'm just gonna actually educate the children," and they're all like, "No, no, no, we have to be cunning and or courageous." And the other one was cunning Slytherin.
I think that was Ravenclaw. I mean, Slytherin's typically ambitious.
Oh yes, ambitious. That's the other one. But yeah, Helga Hufflepuff just was out here trying. She was just doing it for the kids, which is I think a very Sarah thing. I think also friendship very important to the Hufflepuff kind of grouping, and I think friendship is also very important to Sarah as a friend to at least people. So so that's good. That's a positive. Kindness, I feel like the Hufflepuff house is usually just kind of attributed with like just like what I was saying earlier, just like generically like good things. And I feel like kindness is something that's like very important that we get from even though we really don't meet a lot of like main characters from Hufflepuff ever. So like the Hufflepuff lore is really kind of I think a lot of this kind of stuff where people kind of put it on them.
Mhm.
Um, but I think the importance of kindness is something for sure that Sarah is a key, a core part of Sarah's philosophy. Hardworking for sure. I mean, certainly on this show where Sarah does all the editing, that's one thing for sure. Um, but yeah, just in general, I feel like Sarah, very hard worker, out here making moves, doing things, up to new projects all the time, refinishing things, building beds, a lot going on there.
It's true.
And then I think this last thing, I think when we're talking a lot about like the other houses, like there's like Slytherin is like searching for greatness, or like pursuing it, and then like Gryffindor is more kind of like they're like actively looking for it, um, and then like Ravenclaw I think is also kind of like that kind of thing where their greatness is something that they're kind of like striving for in like this like very like directed way, which I feel like across the groups can be kind of like slewed towards like little selfishness, a little bit they're like kind of trying to like be something like this. But I feel like Hufflepuff in general is like this more like there's a lot of like good and great people in Hufflepuff just because they're like they're there to be like friends and like loyal and like help people and support others, um, which I think is very much a Sarah kind of thing. Um, and from the one main character we get, which is like Cedric Diggory, you know, he's very much just kind of like a guy who's out here, and they're like, oh my gosh, Cedric's the coolest, and he's just kind of hanging out, being a good guy, not really like stepping on anybody. He's just out there being neat. Um, so yeah, so I would say Hufflepuff because Sarah is pretty neat.
Thank you.
No problem. You got it, dude. I feel real good about bending description, which when I'm wrong, whatever. But I feel like this is the right answer, and it's just gotta be Earth. Like I don't really know how it could not be, Like it's just so the thing. But why? I think green. I know my first point here is green because green. Sarah, would you agree? Green.
Yeah, that's a good point. A
Yeah.
strong point.
I feel like I've seen Sarah wear green at least once. It is
Mm-hmm.
notedly her favorite color. So that's just a plus because all the tribes basically only wear their color, which is
Yep.
kind of an interesting part about Avatar lore that I feel we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
It really makes no sense that they are so factioned, but then also like are like, well, we're the Earth people, green. Everyone wears green always. Um, that's odd. Really, no reason for that. There's a there's like 4 colors that exist for the Avatar people, so don't really know why, except for the Air tribe who have like yellow and like a pastel red.
Yes, that's true.
So that's my first point, green. My second point is this guy. Um, I know his name's King Boomy, so don't at me. Um, I feel like Sarah could. I feel like Sarah could hang with King Boomy. I feel like they've got good vibes. He's a wild and chaotic guy here for a good time. Um, not a long time, but also a very long time because he is very old in the show.
It's true.
Um, they hang him up in a coffin at one point when his Earth Kingdom gets invaded by the Fire Nation, but he's also just kind of chilling. So he's having a good time despite the circumstances. And I feel like that's very Sarah, No matter what's going on, having the best time that she can.
It's true.
Yep. Then we have Toph here because Toph's cool. But my last couple points here to wrap up this TED Talk is I feel like we get a lot of the Earth Nation in the show because they're like one of the main nations, and most of the time, since the water tribes are at like the poles, you're just going through Earth Nation like land. But I feel like a lot of times we get that they're like a very hardworking group of the Avatar kind of world, big into nature. I think Sarah in nature is a thing, with hobbies in birding and woodworking and walking in nature and hiking and doing her master's in nature, basically, and working as a teacher of nature and other nature things. So I feel pretty good about that one. And I feel like the Earth Tribe is generally kind of like, they have that industrious side where they're like, oh, the machines and stuff, but mostly that's the Fire Nation too. So they're much more the natural group. Strength, I feel in general too that the Earth Tribe is like always described as like the strong kind of group. Their bending style is like very, and I never remember what each of them are, but their bending style for the Earth Nation is like very pointed movements, like very strong things. And I would say for sure that Sarah, especially during the summer workout season, is maximally strong. Strength maxed at 20, that's for sure. Then just we're getting into aesthetics now. The Earth Nation people definitely rock with a barefoot sandal aesthetic, and Sarah is less than happy when there is not Chaco weather in the forecast. So that's a good one for here. Yeah, would definitely fight somebody. I think again with the Earth Nation, there's a lot of like that, like, you know, the natural, the hardworking, the strength, but they're like down to fight. Like they're gonna fight some people, and you know, maybe not for like not having a good time about it, but they'd fight somebody. They'd do it, and I feel like that's a very Sarah thing. She'd fight somebody if she had to, or if you needed her to. Which brings me back to loyalty. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
That's me describing you. So that's you, actually.
that's
Let
true.
me stop sharing. There we go. We're back. Oh,
I think, oh, go ahead. I was just gonna
no,
say, I agree with
the slide deck came up again for me because I double clicked.
Yeah, I think if I really look at myself, I'm definitely a Hufflepuff. I think when I took the Pottermore quiz and got Ravenclaw, they had some interesting points that made me like agree with Ravenclaw, where it was kind of like it doesn't necessarily have to be like a super academic person. Like it's like a lot of times like Ravenclaws like aren't the ones to get their homework done because they've like gone on a rabbit trail down like studying like God knows what. So it's like they are very intelligent, and a lot of intelligent people aren't necessarily the most bookish, but so it was kind of that aspect where I was like, oh, like I guess I could swing that. So I think if I had to pick a secondary, it would be Ravenclaw, but I do think primary would be Hufflepuff, and I do agree with the earth bending. I think that would check it out.
Do you have anything you want to plug? Check out Night Night on Twitch. Sarah's streaming all kinds of games.
I just keep playing this game called Animal Restaurant. If anyone wants to add me on it, I could use more people to work at my restaurant. So go ahead and let me know.
Please apply to work at Sarah's restaurant. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be like super cool.
I've been really into 2048 again recently. So if anyone wants to dig up a tile math game from 2015, it's time to get back into 2048, y'all.
Just want to say thanks, John, for watching.
Thanks, John.
And I hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
Hope people are doing all right. And I hope people seeing this 20 years from now, when it gets published on the History Channel, are also doing well.
I really hope they don't publish this on the History Channel. We'll keep this to a tight 5 next time, I think.